Hi.
Hi.
Is this weird?
Only if you make it weird.
I'm not making it weird.
You make everything weird.
That's not true.
It is. That's why we broke up and why I fell in love with you in the first place.
Then how weird do I have to get in order to fix things?
Jane,
Because I can do it, Diane. I can do it.
yeah, I know.
I can get really weird.
Yeah, I'm well aware.
Do you remember when I met your parents for the first time and I was so nervous that I couldn't stop talking about cephalopods?
I do.
I made them watch that video.
The one where the octopus unscrews the lid of the jar that it's trapped inside.
I remember that being pretty weird.
I remember being envious of that octopus's ingenuity.
I don't understand what that means.
You will. I hope.
What went wrong with us?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Well, not any one thing.
It doesn't make sense.
Something doesn't have to be wrong in order for things to no longer be right. Relationships don't work that way.
You talk to me like you're pulling phrases from a hat, like it's a game, like I'm supposed to interpret everything. Everything about our relationship has been a fucking riddle with no answer.
Just like how is a raven like a writing desk?
Exactly as maddening.
Well, some things don't have answers.
Everything has an answer.
I disagree.
There's an answer to this.
Okay. We just want different things.
How so?
I want to be happy. You don't.
That's cruel.
But not entirely incorrect.
You loved my darkness when we met.
I am drawn to the brooding types.
It is terrible to fall out of love with me because of who I always was.
It's not your darkness that broke us up. I love your darkness. I love your sarcastic, bitter little smirk.
Do you still love me? I'm asking, seriously. If you don't, I'll stop calling. I'll stop sitting alone in the places we used to sit together. I will find new places, call new people.
I don't want you to stop going to our places.
Do you still love me? It's a simple question.
But it's not. It's another riddle without an answer.
It's bullshit, Diane. There are no riddles without answers. We pretend there are because it makes a good story. But even that one, the Raven one, the Lewis Carroll one, eventually Carroll wrote the answer. How is a raven like a writing desk? Because it can produce a few notes, though they are very flat, and it's never put with the wrong end in front. It's a terrible answer. It's not funny, it's not actually clever, but it's a fucking answer.
Yeah, but do you think that maybe it was a bad answer because he was badgered into giving it? For years, letter after letter, people demanding an answer to the unanswered riddle.
Someone else came up with a better answer years later. How is a raven like a writing desk? Answer: Edgar Allan Poe wrote on both. Simple, elegant, beautifully constructed. Just because we can't answer our own riddles doesn't mean the best answer isn't out there somewhere waiting for us.
Well, it seems like my answer won't satisfy you anyway, so go ahead. Go find a better answer.
You're being vicious. I feel like you're playing with me.
You are acting like every other breakup in history was cut and dry, that the reasons were agreed upon and accepted by both parties. I mean, breakups aren't like that. Our situation is not unusual. In fact, it's a fucking cliche, Jane. I'm almost embarrassed by it.
Oh, I'm painfully aware of that. Oh, do you have any fucking idea how many times a girlfriend of mine ended a relationship with a shrug? The best I ever got was someone telling me that I'm an easy woman to fall for and a hard person to love.
I wouldn't put it exactly like that.
I know it's not your job to fix me. It's my job. But I don't know what's wrong. All I know is that I'm miserable.
And what do you want me to say? That it was something you did, something you said? You're not that cruel. And I'm not that easily wounded. It's just that one night we went to bed as lovers, and then the next day we woke up as strangers.
That's absurd.
No, no, it is so, so typical. It's another cliche. It is the distance that ruins a relationship. It is the distance that kills it. And some people just fill that distance up with accusations and hurt feelings and hyperbole, and they make those things the reason.
I can cross that distance. I could cross any distance.
I know you think you could, but sometimes crossing a distance is impossible. It's not a physical crossing, it's philosophical. Before you fully cross it, you have to get halfway there. But before you get halfway there, you have to get halfway there to halfway there, and on and on and on. And once there's a distance, you can't stop it. You can't cross it. You just get further and further away.
When did you first know that you were in love with me?
Why? Why are we going all the way back to the beginning of things?
Because if you won't tell me what I did to make myself unlovable and so that I can fix it, I want you to tell me what made you love me in the first place. So maybe I can just be that person now and forever. Maybe I can just try to act like that always.
It was the third time we were hanging out. Kevin introduced us at the bar in September, and so it was the weekend after Thanksgiving. It was a big group of us all out drinking, and by that point, I did not want to talk to anyone in the group but you. You were so funny and sharp, confident. I was so impressed by you. I wanted to be around you when you were spouting off or arguing with a friend. So when you accidentally sat in my lap,
Oh, God.
yeah, yeah, I was getting up off the bench to go get a beer, and I slid out from behind the table, and you were backing up to sit down because you were talking to Maria, and bam, you were in my lap.
I was so embarrassed.
Yeah. Anyone would be. It was a really awkward situation, but like you made it epic. You would not let it go for the entire night.
I couldn't think straight.
You apologized and you apologized, and then you tried to make a joke out of it by calling me Santa. And then you were mortified for having done that.
I was afraid you thought I was saying that you looked fat.
Yeah, and like a man.
Oh, yeah, that too.
And then you called me Mrs. Claus.
Oh, it wasn't much of an improvement.
No, it wasn't. So you completely switched tactics and you told everyone in the bar that you first knew that you were a lesbian when you were 10 years old and your mother took you to see Santa at the mall.
I just kept trying to dig myself out of that hole.
You said you knew that you liked girls because you couldn't stop staring at the lady elf.
Oh, God.
You said that she was showcasing a generous amount of snow globes.
I honestly don't think any of that was actually true.
Oh, I hope not.
I just didn't know what to do. I really liked you.
I know. It was the craziest thing I'd ever seen. And no one in my entire life has ever been so moved by just touching me accidentally that they had a full-blown panic attack, verging on some kind of psychotic episode.
Okay, I wouldn't say psychotic episode.
Jane, you made up a really inappropriate story about a mall Christmas elf. And now a bar full of people think that insanity is how you came out to yourself at 10 years old. It's just so wrong.
I know.
And how the fuck could you possibly still believe in Santa at age 10?
I always really loved Christmas. I just wanted to hold on to what made it magical for as long as I could. Once you lose it, that kind of supernatural element, it doesn't really become special again until you're an adult. Until you live with someone you love and You can see Christmas with all new eyes. Experience it in all new ways.
Everything aside, I will really miss being with you on Christmas. I don't even know if I'll decorate. It's just too sad.
Eric told me that everyone's getting together at the bar on Christmas Eve.
I heard.
So that was one of the reasons for this call. It wasn't just supposed to be about me demanding answers for why we broke up. It was about, well, I guess requesting an answer to something else. Are you going to go to the bar?
I don't know.
Is it okay if I go?
You can do whatever you want.
I mean, can we be there together? Not together. I mean,
I know what you mean.
what do you think?
I think that we should both see our friends for Christmas. I need to see our friends. And the idea of you being home alone on Christmas Eve is more than I can bear.
Oh, okay, thanks. That's really kind of you.
Jane, I always want to be kind to you. Always. No matter what. I hate that what's happening now feels like unkindness. It's not. I promise you.
I can't help how it feels.
I know.
I always thought I'd be there for you, you know? I always imagined us together. I wanted to protect you. I mean, it seems silly, but I made a promise to myself that I'd never let anything hurt you. And now, here we are.
The distance between us began when you told me that I was the first straight girl that you'd ever loved. And what was worse was that you treated me like I was the straight girl that you loved, like I had one foot out the door, always. I didn't love you like that. I didn't love you halfway, but you treated me like I did. I could never get all the way to you, halfway to halfway to halfway, always.
I didn't mean it like that.
Now, don't say that you were being snarky or funny or dark or whatever. We had been together for 3 years when you said that. I know you well enough to know what you mean when you say shit, and that hurt so much. I didn't know what to say to that because it was not only an accusation, it was like you didn't see me at all. You said you wanted to protect me, but it was like you told everything in the world not to hurt me except for one thing. You forgot to tell that one seemingly insignificant thing. You forgot to tell your own doubt.
It was my fear.
Whatever you want to call it.
I think I wanted you to prove me wrong.
About what? What, my queerness? My commitment to you?
I think.
No, you know what? You know what? Don't respond. Just don't. I shouldn't have to give you a formal answer to either question because I answered them every moment that we were together. I wanted to love you so bad, but you made it impossible because you won't let me. You made me think that my love for you was incomplete because I'm just a straight girl dating a lesbian. And sooner or later, I'll go back running to the straight world. And it's just not true. Guys, so hurtful. I can't even express it properly. I have to put up with being told it's just a phase by my family and friends and strangers, but I shouldn't have to endure it from the person that I love.
I am so sorry. Didn't mean it like that.
I love someone who made themselves unlovable. Do you know how much that hurts? To know that my love for you was always in doubt.
I doubt everything, myself most of all.
That is not an answer. It's not an excuse.
I know it's not an excuse, it's a reason.
And what am I supposed to do with that?
Give me a chance to fix it. Please.
There's nothing to fix. That's the worst part of it. It's just, a poet once described it as something like the blind spot of the heart. And that's where we are. In love, but unable to see each other anymore. I'm gonna go now. I need a drink.
Wait. We're still gonna see each other on Christmas Eve, right?
Yes, I think I'm still going.
If you do, I promise you, I will see you there. I will see you.
Good night, Jane.
Good night, Diane.